terrain and the art of war. Okay, terrain. Hey, look, there's Yogi Bear. Ready for these lot. Anyway, let's get on with terrain. Laundry's done. Terrain. Here it says, right, some terrain is easily passable. In some, you get hang up, or even hung up, right? Some makes for a standoff, some is narrow, some is steep, some is wide. When both sides can come and go, the terrain is said to be easily passable. When the terrain is easily passable, take up your position first, choosing the high and sunny side. Convenient for supply routes, or convenient to supply routes for advantage in battle. When you can go but have a hard time getting back, you are said to be hung up. On this type of terrain, if the opponent is unprepared, you will prevail if you go forth. But if the enemy is prepared, if you go forth and do not prevail, you will have a hard, rough time getting back to your disadvantage. Or you'll have a hard time getting back, much to your disadvantage. Right? When it is disadvantageous for either side to go forth, it is called standoff terrain. On standoff terrain, even though the opponent offers you an advantage, you do not go for it. You withdraw, inducing the enemy half out. Then you attack to your advantage. To your advantage. Articulate, right? To your advantage. It continues. On narrow terrain, if you are there first, you should fill it up to await your opponent. Yeah? If the opponent is there first, do not pursue if the opponent fills the narrows. Pursue if the opponent does not fill the narrows. On steep terrain, if you are there first, you should occupy the high and sunny side to await the opponent. If the opponent is there first, withdraw from there and do not pursue. On wide open terrain, right, wide open like Oklahoma where the wind comes rushing round the bend. Yeah, anyway, on wide open terrain, the force of momentum is equalized and it is hard to make a challenge, disadvantageous to fight. My name. Understanding these 6 kinds of terrain is the highest responsibility of the general. And it is imperative to examine them. Master Sun continues. So, among military forces, oh, that's the water running. That's my bath. Got to have a wash, you know. What? Yes. So, among military forces, there are those who rush, those who tarry, those who fall, those who crumble, those who riot, and those who get beaten. These are not natural disasters, like tsunamis, floods, storms, and hurricanes, but faults of the generals. Yeah? Those who have equal momentum but strike 10 with 1 are in a rush, you know. Well, let's all get him, like these idiots out here. Those whose soldiers are strong but whose officers are weak tarry, you know, hesitate. Those whose officers are strong but whose soldiers are weak fall. When colonels are angry and obstreperous and fight on their own out of spite when they meet opponents, and the generals do not know their abilities, they crumble like apple. Apple crumble. Let us continue. When the generals are weak and lack authority, instructions are not clear. Officers and soldiers lack consistency, and they form battle lines every which way. This is right. When the generals cannot assess opponents, clash with much greater numbers or more powerful forces, and do not sort out the levels of skill among their own troops, these are the ones who get bitch slapped, beaten. Yeah? These 6 are ways to defeat. Understanding this is the ultimate responsibility of the generals. They must be examined. Master Sun continues. The contour of the land is an aid to an army. Sizing up opponents to determine victory, assessing dangers and distances is the proper course of action for military leaders, or even for military leaders. Those who do battle knowing these will win. Those who do battle without knowing these will lose. So saith the art of right.
Reverse.
Enough of that. Come on. Enough of that. My grandma and your grandma had to start the day. This is the way SP start to pray. My out of war, my out of war. My out of war, it's my out of war. Out of war.